G'day guys, I'm Googs and welcome to my drunk philosophy. On this Australia Day special, I've got my friend here, Jeffrey. Hello, Jeff.
G'day.
And we're going to talk about Australia.
And shit.
Like I said, Australia. Because, let's face it, one of the greatest things about Australians is our sense of humour is generally deprecating.
Yeah, we can take the mick out of anything.
Yeah, well, we did have that Prime Minister called Paul Keating in the 90s who did proclaim as Prime Minister that we are the vulture's arsehole of the world.
Yep. And the South Pacific peso.
We're going to build a wall for that, Americans.
Out of Corona crates.
Coronavirus crates?
Oh, yeah.
You know, the Chinese are going to do to us like the American pioneers did to the Native Indians of America. Here, have some coronavirus. I've got 3 cases in Australia of coronavirus, and they're all yuppies. Bit of lime with their bloody coronas.
Did it come in a bottle?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, have a block of that, mate. 30 cans of Corona per person. Jesus.
Geez, full of Corona.
Well, we were worried about the population of Australia getting to the point where the water won't sustain us. We're fine now. We'll just drink Mexican beer.
Yeah.
From China. Bloody hell. That's a way to start Australia Day. You know, we could talk about the great history of our nation. You know, all the natural disasters.
Yeah. All the deadly creatures we've got here.
Yeah, the way we oppressed a whole group of people.
Yeah, it's called the working class.
Karl Marx was German, not Australia. Fuck off. Bloody Germans. What have they ever done for us?
Kick the Moors out of the Iberian Peninsula.
That was the Spanish.
With the help of the Teutonic Knights.
That sounds like a plague. Teutonic plague? No, that's bubonic. Sorry.
Yep.
Once again, we're off topic. Has nothing to do with Australia. We do have lots of German expats in this country.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Yeah. Hans Gruber. Oh, hang on, that was the Nakatomi Plaza building.
Well, actually, my mother was born to German parents in Port Pirie, in South Australia.
Emmanuel can't believe that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, we drink enough piss over here, so it can be a piss tank.
Oh, it's very rarely stable.
Yeah.
Heidegger, anyway. That, by the way, was a tribute to the late, great...
Mr. Jones.
Oh, Terry Jones.
Oh, yeah. What a legend.
For a pom, he wasn't too bad.
Damn right.
For a pom. Although his Aussie accent attempt with Mr. Creosote was shit.
Yeah.
Great skit, shit accent. No one can really do an Aussie accent. You know, it's one thing I have noticed. You know, the Yanks tend to give us British accents.
Yes. Or South African.
South African.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of Kaffers here in this country too. Bloody Kaffers. We love our South African cousins.
Well, I actually talked to a South African once and asked him what the direct translation of Kaffa actually means.
Yeah.
And he told me the literal translation of Kaffa means heathen.
Oh shit, that suits both of us.
Oh, damn right.
Yeah, I'll be a Kaffa any fucking day. A Kaffa. What's the see, there's an Islamic term too for the heathen.
Yeah, infidel.
Infidel. I always wondered about that. You know, Infidel Castro. In Australia, his name was actually pronounced Infidel Gastro.
Yeah, with the amount of flies we've got over here, you definitely get gastro.
Oh, mate, just bloody oysters at Christmas time.
Oh, and the bucket of prawns in the sun.
There's a bit of gastro for you. Bit of E. coli on the stomach. Good shit.
We'll throw another shrimp on the barbie. After it's been left in the sun for 2 days.
Considering you're shorter than me, I wouldn't be using the term shrimp too well.
I'm not that much shorter than you.
You're short enough.
Besides, I'm bigger in other places.
Yeah, your feet. You're not quite a tripod, mate, but nice try.
Listen, don't get toe-you with me.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hang about, mate. Take a total left on that one. Jeez, the rate you use it, mate, to be as dry as a nun's cunt.
No, dead dingo's donga.
No, either way, mate, it's the same thing. Just you're flat out like a lizard drinking 1 minute, and the next minute you've got your toes up in the air. That's life,
Yep.
especially in this country.
Yeah, well, as I say, life's a bitch, then you die.
Yep, probably of a Taipan.
Or a King Brown.
No, you drink those.
Yeah.
Yeah, even export King Brown, beautiful. Nice and chilled.
Oh, definitely.
Not too cold though, but chill, because export's one of those drinks that if you have it too cold, it doesn't work. Bitter on the other hand, any bitter on the other hand, you can have that really cold, but I find that export, you need to have that little bit of...
You've got to have that, the draft, mate. That draft has to be cold.
Oh, the Swan draft, definitely. Even the Goldies.
Yeah, which they don't make anymore.
Yes, they do.
Do they?
Yeah, you can get a Goldie.
Yeah, Queensland, you can't get Swan Gold anymore.
Yeah. They re-released it last year. It's hard to get hold of it, yeah. Well, I mean, it's all made in Adelaide these days anyway.
Yeah, I know that.
You know, all the Swan Brewery stuff.
That's why it doesn't taste as good anymore, because it's made from bloody Murray water.
Well, what can you expect from a group of people who eat crows?
Yeah.
Fucking South Australians. Good on you, South Australia. Wombat huggers. Bloody hell. What's there to do in bloody South Australia? Hug a wombat.
Go to church and murder people.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but okay. You know, but all the Muslims go to South Australia. Why? Allah.
Oh, you had to stew yourself for that one, didn't you?
Well, I used to. They closed down the bloody mill. Now it's just full of dole bludgers and bloody junkies. They were going to build all the Navy submarines there a few years ago, weren't they? The Abrams class, not the Abrams class. The anyway.
Yeah.
All the submarines there. They couldn't find any. You know, can you keep a national secret? Yeah, mate. You give me some bloody goey, mate, and I'll keep any secret you want. Okay, we're not building them in Whyalla anymore. We'll give them to the French because obviously croissants, eating bloody. We're going to give in to everybody who comes and crosses our border and wants our land for the last 500 years. Fucking surrender monkeys, French.
Yeah.
You know, the only time they won a war in the last 500 years was against themselves.
Yeah. Then again, we're getting off topic again. We're meant to be talking about Oz.
What? The wizard?
Yeah. Oh, well, all got to have a heart somewhere.
Well, we all know
Except for Steve Irwin, of course.
We all know a Dot. And the kangaroo.
Yeah.
She had one.
And Fern Gully.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good movie. Mind you, it didn't have a bloody Australian in it. What was it? Tim Curry was the bad guy. Christian Slater was the good fairy, and I can't remember who was a girl good fairy, but Batty Coda was Robin Williams. There was not a fucking Australian in a movie about Australian environmentalism. Fucking Hollywood.
What do you expect?
Well, at least we had Tim Curry. I mean, at least he was British.
Yeah, he's close enough.
Not really. I mean, yeah, okay, we've got a few manly fairies around Australia, especially in Sydney. But
Oh, yeah.
Frankenfurter, I don't know, man. That might be going a little too far.
Yeah, okay.
Although I'm sure we've got quite a few of them too.
Then again, you have a look at Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, it was. And the credits are hilarious.
Especially the Filipino wife who kept shooting ping pong balls out of her twat.
Oh, she's not going to do that, is she? Oh!
Hugo Weaving, wasn't it? He was in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some of the, I don't think it was his first movie, but we got quite a few decent actors out of that one.
Yep.
And then the Americans had to come and try and do a version of it.
What was it? To Wu Fong Lu or whatever it was.
To Wu Fong Lu.
Yeah, shocking movie.
Yeah, it was. It just proves that Americans don't understand our humour.
Oh, damn right they don't.
You know?
I mean, you have a look, the the series have tried to retranslate to their language. I mean, they tried to do Kath and Kim, for Christ's sake.
Well, they tried to do The Office too.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a British show, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's just like, no. I mean, I'm very surprised they didn't try to come up with something like, Mick Grundy, the alligator hunter.
Wouldn't surprise me if they tried.
It would have been the porn version of the axe. the,
That's not a knife. This is.
I got a big dag, I love it. Oh shit, that would have been a better version, I think.
Yeah, it does a good slash.
Suck on this. The stuff you'll get out of it tastes like shit. You can eat it, but it tastes like shit.
You can't live on it.
Plenty of protein, love. God damn. That's actually not a bad idea. And it did have Ernie Dingo in the first movie, so you could even have the big black cock in there. You've got the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. It's not quite off topic, but it's off colour.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to all the PC crowd. Fuck you.
Instead of Kozlowski being in the main actress, you could get a certain Bill Clinton bloody knockoff.
Ron Jeremy is Mick Grundy. Come here, woman. Oh, God.
Yeah, definitely leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Hey, look, if you can be that ugly and get that much pussy, good luck to him, I reckon. Now he's selling Viagra pills.
Well, he's got to keep it up somehow.
Let's celebrate the great Australians. Let's talk about the really great Australians that everybody knows and everybody loves.
Yep.
Yeah, let's start with one thing that is Aussie as the hills, because we love our sport here in this country. We absolutely worship. Adore. It's a religion. It's good. We like it. So let's have some sport talk.
Okay, Don Bradman.
Absolute legend.
Oh, what a legend.
The guy, his strike rate was close to 100.
99.9.
About as close to 100 as you can. There's this little kid from outback New South Wales, and
South Australia, actually.
Well, there you go. I'm thinking of the War Brothers, aren't I? But
yeah,
he used to sit there with the rainwater tank with a cricket ball and a cricket bat and just used to bounce it against the round.
Well, you got that wrong again. Basically, it was a golf ball and it was a cricket stump he used to use.
What? He used to hit it off the cricket stump?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's why he was so good at centering the ball.
I'm thinking about the War Brothers again, aren't I?
Yes.
Well, see, this is how young I am.
They used to beat it against a brick wall.
Yeah. But, of course, he was one of the... There was two great sporting champions at the time. One was human, Don Bradman, and the other one wasn't, that really helped us through the Great Depression, or the last parts of the Great Depression. Because Farlap.
Which was a New Zealand racehorse, actually.
No, it's Australia. New Zealand is the 8th state. I don't care who says what. And by the way, they did not invent the fucking pavlova.
No, we did.
Yeah, fucking oath we did. I don't care what they say. And
we invented Lamington as well.
And we invented New Zealand. Fuck them. They can keep their hobbits. I shouldn't say that about... Look, to be quite honest, we just give them shit.
Yeah, and they give it straight back.
Oh,
which we love.
My best New Zealand jokes are all told to me by New Zealanders about Australians. I just flip them around.
Damn right.
And they were funny at the time when they were being told to me about us Aussies. I mean, who couldn't laugh at the fact that, we are literally... What have we got? A few rocks that we can sell. That's about it. Oh, shit.
Dig it up, ship it out.
Well, we don't ship it out. The Chinese ship it out. And then they sell it back to us at 3 times the price.
Or more.
It's true. It's... it's a fucking weird world, man. But, we got Don Bradman, we got Farlap, both of whom were at the tail end of the Great Depression, who helped everybody sort of forget about their blues.
Yeah. Then we came up through the 50s and we got people like Richie Benaud.
But I mean, let's face it, Richie Benaud, yes, as the captain of Australia, took us to a couple of really good Ashes wins. That's not what he's known for, though. Because he then spent 30 years being the greatest sports commentator this country's ever created
Yes.
for the cricket. Richie Benaud is, he's a commentator king.
Well, he was, until he cactus.
Oh, look, he still is. I don't think there's anyone at the moment who's commentating cricket that has a bar on Richie.
No.
Not a
Not
bar.
really, no.
I mean, he did it for so long.
I mean, you did have that ABC cricket commentator.
Uh,
Trouble is, I can't remember his name at the moment. He commentated for donkey's years on the radio.
We can all agree that Bill Laurie is known for his commentary, certainly not
And
for
the
his...
pigeons.
Yes, and the Victorians.
Yep.
Oh, Victorians are the greatest thing ever since sliced bread.
And his racing pigeons.
Oh, yeah. He certainly wasn't known for his cricket. Let's score a run. Oh, here's a juicy block. Oh, it dropped at my feet. Oh, look, here's another juicy block. And by the way, for those people who don't know cricket, a juicy is a ball that bounces up just at the right height that you should be able to hit that bastard and put it over the fence.
That's for 6 runs.
At least.
Yeah.
Or, 4.
Or knock it out of the ground.
Yeah, knock it out of the ground. But
Like Steve Waugh did quite often.
yeah, Hughesy did it a couple of times too. But mind you, Hughesy was a big boy.
Oh, shit. And if Booney ever got underneath a ball,
Well, the ball was only 3 feet off the ground.
yeah.
He wasn't a big man, but goddamn could he hit that ball.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Well, the main reason
Couldn't run for shit.
well, that's the reason he hit the ball.
Yeah.
4. Bang! It should be 2. No, I'm not even going to run that. Don't worry about it, mate. Him and Border used to be the opening, didn't they? Back in the day? No, it wasn't Border, it was him and...
No, Booney normally came in at 3 or 4.
I thought he was opening, because he was the big hitter. I'm pretty sure he was the opening, because he was only there to bat.
Yeah.
He couldn't bowl for shit.
He did actually bowl one over.
I know he bowled one over. He didn't get a wicket, but he bowled it over. And
Yeah.
it goes down in history as one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. I've never seen a man that fat get his arm over, mate. No, the batsmen weren't hitting him, not because they were actually.
And Joel Garner was actually pissing himself laughing at the time.
The batsmen weren't hitting 4s and 6s off him just simply because it's like, Booney? I mean, we're going to lose the match anyway. It doesn't matter at this point. But Booney?
They only needed 4 runs to win
No.
when he came in.
No.
Yeah.
They didn't need 4 runs to win. We'd already won them. It was a test match and we'd already won. They needed to make up another whatever it was, and it was 4 overs to go. They were 9 for 311. We'd scored 485 over 2 overs, two innings. They weren't going to win either way. It was either going to be a drawn match or they were going to be out. I remember it was a test match because it was back in the late 80s.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
But I remember him bowling the over.
I was great.
And off the last ball, Viv Richards actually hit him for a 6.
Which wasn't too hard.
No.
Then you had...
Because the first five balls, they actually just blocked.
Then you have the guy who I still consider to be the greatest cricket captain we ever had in this country, and that's Alan Border. He was a captain from the early 80s through to the early 90s.
Yeah.
And he had a mind for the game.
He certainly did.
He understood the game.
He was an absolute bastard of a man.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, let's face it, most great men are arseholes.
Oh, what's that make us then?
Neither one, mate. We're good people. I'll just keep telling myself that. Now we're working class, we're meant to be arseholes, though.
Yeah.
There's one thing about arseholes, it's a non-gender specific term because everyone has one.
Yep.
Yeah, you're all arseholes. What do you used to be? Gotcha beauty. Who was that? Was that Ugly Dave?
Oh, Ugly Dave Gray.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that was back on that television show on the ABC. He used to flip the bird and go, hey, gotcha beauty.
Yep.
I can't remember the name of the quiz show. It was a quiz show. I think it had Newton hosting it.
Celebrity Squares?
Yes.
Yeah, that was actually on 7.
Okay. But that was a great show.
Yeah.
It was a fun show.
Him and his big cigar.
Oh, God. And
Try smoking on television these days.
nobody will believe you. Well, you can smoke on television these days. They'll just censor it out.
Yeah.
It's like Japanese porn. They censor out the cocks. In Australia, we censor out the cigarettes.
Yeah, well, it's like the old saying, you know, if you don't like the smell of burning rubber, use more lube.
Mick Gundy. Alligator hunter. Here we go. But go back to other great Australians. You know, we've talked about a bit about cricket. Okay, let's move on to a sport. Hey, honey,
I having to get a taxi to work in the morning, or are you driving me?
I'll drive it. I'm doing a video, honey.
You just missed the cat head down, bum up in the beer box.
That's fun. And very Australian. The cat's an Australian cat, it likes the beer.
Yep.
But
Bottle fed.
how about Aussie rules?
What about it?
Great players.
Yeah. Not Victorians.
Oh, come on, they've had a few over the years.
Yeah, well, you know what my idea of Victorians is?
I know, and I'm the same. I mean, you know, they're the arch rivals of WA anyway. But Dermot Brereton, okay, he was an arrogant son of a bitch, but he knew how to kick a ball. Robert Dipper Domenico, he was cool.
Yeah.
Mark
Oh.
Jacko Jackson.
Oh, Jacko, what a legend.
Oh, Mark Jacko Jackson, what a god.
Then again, you have a look at some of the bloody terrible players. Barry Hall.
Yeah, Barry Hall.
Oh, what a mongrel he was.
Yeah, or you look at Greg Diesel, what was his name? Carlton captain back in the day. Greg, I can't remember his fucking last name. He was a bastard.
Yeah.
Liberatore towards the end of his career.
Oh, come on. In the 60s and 70s, Lou Richards.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen some old show. Old
Oh,
episodes.
come on. Small bloke for AFL,
Yeah,
but Jesus, could he play?
he was good. Ron Barassi.
Oh, yeah.
Ron the King Barassi. He was a good player. He was an amazing player.
Then you're looking at other ones like Barry Cable.
Cable was brilliant.
Oh, absolutely genius.
Ross Glendenning.
Cable actually changed the game.
Ross Glendenning.
Yeah.
Great player.
We won't talk about cocaine.
What, Cousins?
No, Mainwaring.
Oh, he was a junkie like Cousins. He
Yeah.
wasn't into the crack or the coke. Sorry, he was a meth guy.
Oh, yeah.
But he started off on the dope. Children, dope is a gateway drug. No, it isn't. But anyway, but it's a shame about Maney because Maney was a great player. He was a really good wingman and a centre. Once he left the game though, he just lost his sense of self, I guess. Oh.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I suppose with any sport, if you're so wrapped up in that sport and you leave the game, you lose your sense of direction. You've got nowhere else to go. Unless you've got a trade or something to fall back on.
How about Steve Malaxos?
Oh, I was
He
never
was-
over fussed on
He
him.
was a pretty good player.
Yeah, he wasn't the best in the game.
Nah, but he was a good player. Well, being an East for man on man, of course I'm going to say Steve Malaxos.
Well, I can go back to the 1960s and 70s with Gary Fathers
Yeah.
for Subiaco.
What about Farmer?
Oh, old Polly.
Oh, mate, he could play like no one else.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Polly Farmer was a fucking legend with that ball. Who else do we got? Derek Kickett.
Then again, in local sport, you had Brian Smith, who
Yeah.
played for Subiaco.
Yeah, Brian Smith.
4 years in a row,
Oh, for
greatest
fuck's
goal
sake.
kicker in
You
WA.
Can, you can take the whole Subiaco team for the last fucking 10 years pretty much and put them in the Hall of Fame for the waffle, mate. WAFL, fuck. They just can't lose.
Well, they can.
Yeah, well, very rare. It's a bit unfair for the rest of the teams at the moment. Good for you as a Subi supporter, though.
But then again, a lot of people these days are going on about how unfair Subiaco is in the league. But they've got to remember that back in the 60s, they went from 1948 to 1972 without getting even in the semi-finals.
And that's the day.
And it got to the point where the club was almost bankrupt. and they were going to close down.
Well, it's like when you look at the AFL and that, it's good to see teams like Richmond back up there. Richmond, St Kilda had a good couple of goes. In fact,
Yeah.
I think they beat Freo, the Fremantle Dockers. What a piss poor excuse for a team that is.
I mean, you have a look at Peel when they first started up.
Yeah, but Dockers have been going, 24 years?
Yeah, something like that.
1996? 24 years and they've had one grand final appearance.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is, but I mean, they've had some great players too. Pavlich, great footy player. Nothing wrong with Pavlich. In fact, how he never won a Brownlow is beyond me. The guy was amazing as a footy player, but,
Brownlow, for those people who don't know, is fairest and best.
for the entire competition.
Yeah.
Like the MVP of the competition, I suppose, if you're into basketball or something like that. There has been countless great players. And, towards the end of his career, he was shit, but Tony Lockett.
Yeah.
I mean, the
he
guy was
alright.
a genius in front of the sticks.
Yeah, he was no good anywhere else, though.
Yeah, but that's the point of a full forward, is to kick it through the sticks.
Yeah.
Peter Matera,
Oh, yeah, what legend, that bloke.
fucking speed.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And 50 out kicks a goal. I mean, shit, he ran it from bloody half back.
He actually kicked a goal from the centre square. 55 metres.
Yeah, and he plays from the centre of the ground. I mean, he was an amazing player. Over the years, even once again, towards the end of his career, he was an absolute shit cunt. But Gary Ablett,
Oh,
he was come on, man, the guy was the second highest goal scorer of all time.
yeah, but he was a real dirty player.
Towards the end he was, because he couldn't get the ball. But I'll never forget that grand final. I think it was 94. No, it was 92. And it was West Coast versus Geelong. And Ablett, of course, was there full forward, Geelong's full forward. And he knocked out Don Pike.
Yep.
And they put our captain, another fucking footy legend, Johnny Worsfold, who is an absolute legend. And they put him on Gary Ablett. And Mick Moldhouse must have said at the time, just keep on him. And Gary did not want to. It's not that he couldn't get near the ball. He didn't want to get near the ball, because every freaking time he got close to the damn ball, Woosha was lining him up, and he would have just.
And he hip and shouldered him a few times.
It's a grand final.
Yeah.
I don't care if you suspend me for a few pre-season games.
Yep.
Woosha was gonna crucify him.
And he pretty much did.
They stopped him getting the ball. Then you got great full backs like Stephen Silvani.
Honestly, can't remember him.
Stephen Silvani, mid-90s Carlton. The guy would play, it doesn't matter who your full forward was, he'd play on your full forward and that full forward would not score. He shut down Lockett, he shut down Carey, it just didn't matter who he was on.
Yep.
He just shut them down. And it's one of those things like that, you don't usually look at the back line for your heroes.
Mm-hmm.
But Sauce, man, he was something else.
Yep. Then we can get away from sport and we can go into other areas. Like some of our great war heroes.
Yep.
Weary Dunlop, World War II.
Yes, Weary Dunlop, definitely.
Man that saved many, many people in POW camps.
Absolutely. Who was I can't remember his name. The guy with the donkeys in World War One.
Yeah, I'll think of it in a minute.
Who went around and actually collected all the injured and took them to the nursing
Yes.
posts.
Then you had John Monash,
Yes.
the general in charge of the Australian troops in World War One.
Which we have a university named after him.
Oh yeah.
John Monash University. It's in Perth. Great war heroes. The boys who fought the Battle of Long Tan.
Oh, yeah, all 250 of them. Every single one of them was a hero.
Oh, Vietnam usually gets forgotten, man, but I suppose because my old man and sort of a lot of the people my age, their dads or their uncles were involved in Vietnam, so we have a different perspective on Vietnam. They weren't baby killers to us, they're our parents and our uncles and stuff. And some of the stories they come back with, okay, we possibly shouldn't have been there. Irrespective of that, these guys had a job to do, and they some of the shit they went through was just incredible.
Like in any other war, doesn't matter what they are, it is brutal, and you have to do what you have to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, if you have to kill hundreds of the enemy, so be it. Because they're trying to do exactly the same to you. It's brutal.
Well,
it's bloody.
It's like my song. It's the bloodbath for the common man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bloke called Bill Hartney in World War One actually wrote a poem that went, in every war, the common soldier, the simple man, plods ever on as he must. For him, by him the graves are dug. For him there is no glory, just a mouthful of dust.
No, it's the thing about war, and I'm really glad, I guess, that for people of my generation, we haven't really known war to the extent of the last 3 or 4 generations.
No, well, I'm grateful because I was too young for the Vietnam War, and I've basically been too old for any other war.
Well, that's it.
So I got lucky. I fell in between them all.
But once we stopped conscription, then it became a choice. If you wanted to fight, you can fight. And mind you, hats off to all those young men and women who decide to put their hat in the ring.
Oh yeah.
Hats off to them. You guys, you Aussie fighters who fight on our behalf, you get told where to go and where to fight. It's what you do, and we are grateful for the fact that you do what you do. Thank you very much.
Oh, damn right.
Thank you. You are all heroes.
You're all legends.
Absolutely. You do what the rest of us cannot or refuse to. Thank you. So, yeah, and let's go on to the other Aussie heroes, though. We're still fighting bushfires.
The firefighters.
Oh,
SES.
SES, AMBOs, all of our emergency services. These, large majority of these people are all volunteers. Sure, we have the paramedics who are paid. Sure, we have the firefighters who are paid. But especially out in the regional areas, it's literally, you get guys and girls out there fighting these fires, and they're saving somebody else's house while theirs burns down.
Yep. And they're not being paid for it.
And they don't want to be paid for it.
No.
They're doing this as a service to their community.
Yeah. And these people can be out there for weeks, months, losing money, not being able to pay their own mortgages, the whole box and die. I've got nothing but respect for them.
And their partners and their children at not knowing if they're still around, if they're still alive, whatever it is. I mean, Surf Lifesavers the same. They put their lives at risk every day. And one of the things that I like from Starship Troopers, which is a book by Robert Heinlein, I'm not talking about the movie, I'm talking about the book, was the idea of people who get to vote and people who get a say in the society should have to do some form of civic service, so they actually understand the value of the society. And I actually like that idea personally. And all the volunteers we've got in Australia, including yourself, Jeff, because you're one, thank you very much for everything you do. You are as important, as far as I'm concerned, as anybody in the army, because you're not paid to do it. And you do put your life at risk every day, and we owe you all, throughout the last couple hundred years since you've been around, a great deal of gratitude. So thank you.
Look, I'll admit there's been a few hairy moments doing the job which I do with SES, but 9 times out of 10, you got a team around you.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing because you're well trained in it, and it's as safe as it can possibly be.
Well,
but I guarantee it's no fun being on a roof at 2 o'clock in the morning in the middle of winter with rain pissing down, freezing bloody cold, trying to tarp up a roof.
Well, as you know, and the people may know who are watching, maybe do, maybe don't, I spent quite a few years in the State Emergency Service as well. And I've seen things that I wish I hadn't seen.
Oh yeah.
At the same time, I'm glad that I was able to be of service as much as I could possibly be, whether that's, doing a search in the middle of a desert, or which you've done recently, or whether it's, once again, tarping up a roof in the middle of a rainstorm. I mean,
or being chest deep in a swamp.
Yeah, I've been there too. Searching for people. I mean, it's a tough nut job, but
It's not a lot of fun at times.
however, the point is you're doing a civic duty. It's not about, trying to big note yourself. You're doing it because you want to help your community, and it's literally that as simple as that.
Yeah.
You want to help people out.
Well, I don't go out to big note myself. I don't go around shouting at the top of my voice that I'm an SES bloody worker. I just do it because, well, quite honestly, half the time I actually enjoy what I do.
Now, we've talked a little bit about sport. We've talked a little bit about civic virtue, which is fantastic, and I just don't have enough words. And also for the international people who come and giving us a hand at the moment with the firefighting.
Look, we've got Americans, we've got Indonesians,
Canadians,
English.
we've got them all. A couple of French.
I believe even some of the South Africans have come over.
And thank you very much for your time and what you've given us. And for the people just donating money
Yeah.
around the world. And in Australia, we cannot say enough how much we appreciate it.
And there's people in the background who make the sandwiches, make the coffee for these people.
Deliver the water bottles out to the boys and
Yeah.
girls.
They ask nothing in return.
It is absolutely wonderful. The response of the world to our little country, and I don't mean little as in size, I mean little as in population, is amazing. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
I raise a beer to all you volunteers and helpers.
Absolutely.
Cheers. Good on you.
Amen. And by the way, for those people who aren't religious, amen is a French word that means may so it be. I don't mean that in a religious sense. For those of you who are secular, but anyway, let's talk about other great people in Australia, like great religious figures like Cardinal George Pell.
Yeah, right.
Fuck. It's amazing, we've got some absolutely humdingers of people in this country, for like good people. Then we've just got tons of shit cunts,
Yeah. Oh, look, we've had some absolute mongrels in this country. People that should not even be allowed to breathe.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but then you've got people who, okay, they're not nice people. They're sexist or whatever. For example, the old Sir Joe Bjork-Peterson.
Now, let me tell you this.
Hey, make my wife, buddy, iron my underpants. Oh, God, he was a horrible bloke. And he was weird as fuck. He was stuck in the 1940s, that man. Probably earlier 30s.
Yeah.
He didn't like black people. He didn't like gays. He didn't like anyone, really.
Didn't like anybody but himself, I think.
Pretty much. But the thing is, he was so over the top about it that you just laughed at him. It's like,
Yeah,
you're
the
an
people in
idiot.
Queensland didn't laugh, though.
Well, they got rid of him eventually.
Yeah, eventually. Not before a shitload went down.
Mind you, how many years did we have Wilson Tucky represent us?
Oh, 23 years?
Oh, Wilson Turkey, what a fucking idiot.
Old Iron Bar.
I mean, he was a great pub owner, as long
Yeah.
as you weren't black. Jesus Christ. He was really the last of that sort of throwback generation, I guess. The wife has to press iron my undies and me socks and me jocks and me shirts and, the little woman. Jesus Christ. I mean...
They cheese and bickies.
But then you got the women politicians like Bronwyn Bishop. I'll just take all this taxpayers' money to take me for a 200-kilometre helicopter ride when I could just take a car. And I'll do it 4 times and try to get away with it.
Then we've got people like Carmen Lawrence, the Premier of WA.
I'm sorry, I cannot recall.
WA Inc. by any chance?
Oh, WA Inc. was that was a massive conspiracy, that was.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
Yeah, that was Brian Burke. He was in that. The old premier before Carmen Lawrence was in that. Basically, all the rich bigwigs in Western Australia decided to create a Ponzi scheme and got caught. And Carmen Lawrence, who was our premier at the time, her catchphrase was, doesn't matter whether it was an interview on telly or in the courthouse, it was, I can't recall. I can't recall. I can't recall. It's basically all she ever fucking said.
Yeah, she was demented.
At the age of fucking 46, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, she was dementia.
Yeah.
Then you had the greatest success of a premier that this state's ever seen. The good old Gero boy, Jeff Gallop, who lasted approximately 4 months before having a complete mental breakdown and having to leave the position.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean I get drug tested? What do you mean? I'm a Gero boy, I've got to have me dope.
Let's not go on about the present mayor of Gero.
Well, nobody would care.
Yeah.
Probably nobody cares about the premiers of Western Australia. We're talking about arsehole premiers. Jeff Kennett in fucking Victoria. Oh, what a prick. Let's just sell absolutely everything. Why is our state bankrupt? You sold absolutely everything.
And now we've got no income.
Well done, Jeff. Oh, by the way, well done for closing down Esso. That was a smart idea.
Yeah.
Fucking loser. I mean, he's now running the Beyond Blue thing with Julia Gillard for suicide prevention and awareness.
That's why so many people are killing themselves these days.
Yes, but no. I mean, Julia Gillard was not a bad Prime Minister. The problem is, being our first female Prime Minister, it wasn't... Everyone goes on about the media, this, media, that. It's like, no. The mainstream news was fine. What it was Women's Day, Women's Weekly,
Yep.
New Idea, all the women's about, oh, what's our Prime Minister wearing today? Oh, she had a bit of a faux pas. She fell down. It's like, leave the poor lady alone.
She wasn't the worst one we've ever had.
Oh, shit, her and Swan got us through the GFC, all right.
Yeah.
And you've got to give them credit for that.
Look, admittedly, I never liked the woman
Fair enough.
as such. I didn't know her personally. I only knew her through a public profile.
Yeah.
But overall, she wasn't the worst Prime Minister we've ever had.
No, I would actually... You know who I'd put it to a fairly recent one, actually? Turnbull.
Oh, Turncoat.
Oh, he was shit.
Oh, bloody Turncoat. Mind you, Nero's scum over.
Oh, Scummo. Nero
Scum over.
Oh. I like
Bloody...
Nero, the fiddling in Hawaii while Australia burned.
Yeah.
That was one of your best ones, I think, mate. What are you doing in Hawaii while your country is burning down? You're leading this country, it's burning to the ground.
Yes, let's just go and play a fiddle and have fun.
You know, Sydney can barely, nobody in Sydney can barely breathe right now. It's the biggest city in Australia. They're fucking covered in smoke. What are you doing? I'm quite happily sizzling sausages over a lava flow in Waikiki, you know?
Yeah, I
what a
don't
piece of
think
shit.
he's going to recover from that one somehow.
No. And then they got the whole Kangaroo Island thing. Because they goes, oh, I'm just glad no one's died. Yeah, 2 people have died. Oh, I meant the fireys. It's like they were fireys.
Yeah.
They may not have been active at the time, but they were fireys.
And over half of Kangaroo Island is now burnt out.
But they managed to save a majority of the koala park.
Yeah, but over half the koala population is being killed.
Yeah, but hopefully we can bounce them back a bit. And it didn't end up burning out as much of the Gippsland as we thought it would. So it's, you know, it's a terrible tragedy. There's no doubt about that. We're Australians. I mean, we're used to getting fucked over by the
we'll
weather.
bounce back.
You know, I mean, just look at Tracy in '74.
Well, you went around there.
No, but I know about it. You know,
Yeah.
it basically flattened the entire city of Darwin.
75% of the city was basically disappeared.
And what was it? 6 tornadoes came with it, or something like that.
Something along those lines. And 78 people died officially.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve of 74, the warning sounded out.
Yeah.
And all the broadcast stations, a great storm was near about.
Yeah, that's the
Bill
great
and Boyd.
song. Yeah,
Santa never made it into Darwin.
sad song. But I mean, we're used to the weather and you know, these disasters throwing us a raw fish, because that's what happens all the fucking time in this country.
It is the old saying, you know, we are a nation of drought and flooding rains.
Which is exactly what the hell's going on in Queensland and New South Wales at the moment.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, Christ, even in our own state, just inland, we had the remnants of the cyclone, which dropped 300 mil of rain in one day.
That was
And
at.
It's wrecked all the roads out around Wiluna.
That's right, Wiluna. Yeah, and I mean it's just the way Australia. I mean, but admittedly, it is getting worse.
Yeah.
It is getting worse.
Look, even in my time on this planet, okay, people, I'm 61 or near enough to it, not to make a difference. I've noticed the climate has changed, or the seasons, I should say. Summer seems to be longer. Winter seems to be less moist.
And it also winters. Daytime temperatures are a lot warmer than they used to be.
Yes.
And nighttime temperatures in summer are a lot warmer than they used to be.
Yes and no.
Well, yeah, because you think about it. I mean, one of them, well, like tonight, we've got massive humidity. In fact, we have these days in summer, it's more humid than not. Why? Because we always used to get about 11 o'clock in the morning. The big, strong southwesterly came in just about every single day.
Yep.
And blew the hell out of everything. You know, it used to blow the tree. Well, we've got sideways trees coming into the town from the south, for God's sakes. But nowadays, there's no wind. And by the time you get to about 8, 9 o'clock, there's no wind.
Well, maybe we should eat more beans.
No, then we put more methane into the atmosphere. Methane's worse for the greenhouse.
Don't be a cow.
I can't, I'm a bull. Look out for the horn. Not the horns. I've got a cigarette in my hand. Horn. But it is changing. I mean, we're now almost in a permanent state of semi-drought.
Yes.
And we have been since at least the late 90s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It really started changing majorly from about 86, 88 onwards.
I wasn't here then. But even when I first got here in 94, like for the first 3 years I was here from that time, every year the Greenock floodplains, which are just south of our town, used to flood and used to cover the highway at least once a winter.
Well, I haven't seen Camel Lake for at least 15 years.
Mm. And the last time the bridge to the Walkway Bridge flooded would have been...
That was 96...
No. It flooded 2007.
Oh, yes, it would have, yes.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true. Mm. That's when Irene went through, wasn't it?
No, that was winter. The reason I know that, I was in Perth at the time doing TAFE for my apprenticeship.
Mind you, I remember the 88 floods where Geraldton was actually cut off for 3 solid days. But the only way in or out was either air or boat.
Well, that's because on one side you had the Greenock flooding, which took out Walkaway.
Yep.
And on this side we only had the old Chapman River Bridge.
Yep, and that was about 10 feet underwater.
And considering how close that bloody bridge is to the ocean, that's impressive.
Yeah, and you had the eastern, Eridu, 50 k's east of us. The road bridge was actually something like 30 feet underwater.
That's wet.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
The rail bridge from the bed of the river to the bottom of the transoms is 55 feet.
Shit.
And the water was actually lapping at the rail.
You see, it's getting drier. And, you know, every year, I mean, I talk to farmers out where I work. At times, there's farmers around. And every year now, they're putting in drought-resistant crops.
Mm.
Every year, without fail, drought-resistant crops. That's rather sad. And
yeah, well, I mean, just about everybody around here uses that modified canola now.
Mm. And even that doesn't seed as much as it used to.
No, this year was a terrible crop.
Mm. Mm. I mean, it used to go out and all the silos, you used to have all the outlying seed bed, grain beds that used to be covered up with tarps. Mm. The only one I went out to a town called Dalwallinu. The only one that has that at the moment is Perenjori. That's the only siding at the moment that actually has that.
Yeah, well, they haven't even opened up Pindar this year.
That's sad. That's sad. Yeah, the farming is getting harder and harder in this country to do. Not for the animal side of things though. That's you know, sorry vegans, not for the animal side of things, but for the grains and things like that. You know, it's getting harder and harder to get a crop.
Mm. And for those vegans out there, I'll let you know that right now that I'm a second-hand vegan. Yeah, cows eat grass, I eat cows.
with guns.
Chickens and choppers.
Say no more.
Uh,
So we've talked a bit about pollies. What else can we talk about Australia? What else is good about Australia?
there's a big debate raging at the moment
Oh,
about
yes.
changing the date of Australia Day.
Yes.
And this has been going for a few years.
Yes.
Now, the date of Australia Day, for those outside of Australia, is the 26th of January.
Mm.
Now, this actually signifies the landing of the first fleet in Botany Bay.
Even though we don't know the exact date.
Yeah. We do, however, know the founding of the Botany Bay colony,
Yes.
which was the 7th of February.
Yes.
Now, people have been debating the actual date of it. They want it changed because the Indigenous Australians call it Invasion Day.
Yes. Or some do. Not all of them. Some do. The
Yeah.
activists do.
Yeah, the activists, yes,
Mm.
that's true. So, if they want a date, they should nominate one. Now, if we had to change it, I'd be more than willing to accept the 7th of February.
I doubt they would for the same reasons.
Yep. Although, another one that has been suggested is April the 1st.
I like that date.
Yes.
Well, you know what I reckon? If we were to change it, I don't agree we should change the date, by the way. But because, okay, the significance, I mean, it's only been Australia Day, I think it was 1994, oh, sorry, 1906 it was, where it became Australia Day coalesced as the 26th. Even though I've been celebrating Australia Day as the 26th all my life,
Yep.
at least in Western Australia, the thing is, I'm not celebrating it in 1788.
No.
I'm celebrating it in 2020.
The thing is, what people must realise is what happened 200 years ago, you can't turn around and say, it's your fault, you people living now, of what happened 200 years ago or 150 years ago. We weren't around. We did not have involvement in what was going on back then.
But I mean, there is one day that if they were going to change it, I wouldn't like it, but I could at least acknowledge it. And because in Australia we don't really have too many momentous moments insofar as we're a British colony, fine, well we were until 1901. But when we really broke out on our own and started becoming significant on the world stage was World War One. And for me, I wouldn't mind Anzac Day, if they were going to change to anything. Anzac Day would not be a bad day, as far as I'm concerned.
No, Anzac Day is a day to celebrate our veterans and the people who've served,
Well,
and it should be left as such.
I'm talking culturally, because culturally it is a significant point
Yes.
in our history.
Um,
And it's one that all Australians can share.
a lot of people would disagree with me on this one, but we officially became a self-governing country on the 1st of January 1901.
That's correct.
Now, we could turn around to say, instead of New Year's Day, it's Australia Day.
The trouble with that, Jeff, is everyone gets pissed on the day before Australia Day.
Yeah, they could just continue getting pissed through the rest of the day.
What, you want fireworks 2 days in a row?
For those that are sober enough to see them.
All I can think is there's going to be more fireworks in bloody toilet blocks than there are in the sky. No, that much beer over too. I mean, we're Australians, we can handle it, but Jesus Christ, I don't know, man. What we should do is on the 25th of December, you know, people go, oh, we'll cancel Christmas. Fine, we'll cancel Christmas. That can be Australia Day.
Yep.
25th of December. And that way it gives us 5 days before New Year's Eve.
Yep.
And we
Okay,
can have a
yep.
bender over that week.
I'll fucking drink to that.
A bender over that week, I reckon. Or, the other debate that's come back up, and I'm glad it has, because it's about time it has, is getting rid of the last vestiges of the Pommy Empire.
What, Harry and Meghan?
They're not even of the Pommy Empire anymore, are they?
No, they've divested themselves of it.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I'll give it to them.
Then again, we could have Prince Charles.
Oh, God. Go tell him to go talk to a fucking cauliflower.
Broccoli.
Broccoli, sorry. Yes, he talked to broccoli.
Yes,
Yes.
broccoli.
He gave up. He divorced one of the most beautiful women that has ever been in this world and married a horse. Sorry, Camilla fans. No, I'm not sorry. Camilla's a horse.
Yeah.
Oh, why would you? I mean, given the royal family, I'm surprised he didn't marry Princess Anne.
No. Kids would have two heads.
Well, they didn't shave Williams off. But no, I reckon we should become a republic. Get rid of the last vestiges of the English Empire. We don't need them anymore. And get a constitution. Get a president. No, we don't need a queen. Got enough in this country as it is. Hashtag not all. Oh, Jesus. But I reckon, Jeff, when you come back in from your slash, he's having a piss. He's pissed and pissing. It's all good. Here's to you. One thing I love about this country, especially in the regions, is you can just be yourself. You can have a bit of fun and you can get away with a little bit more. Being in the city, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't want to be bloody in a city, especially a capital city, Jesus. Bunch of weirdos. Here's to you, bloody weirdos. Too many people. Too many people. Get out bush sometime and have a bit of a look around, have a bit of a gander. I know there's a lot of Australians who always talk about the wildlife and the bush. And some of these people, like these activists in the big cities talking about it, they haven't even been out there to see what the hell's out there. You know, they wouldn't know what it was like out in the bush. If you're one of those people, go for a bit of a sea change. Come out to the regions for a couple of years and see what it's actually like. You might change your mind after a bit, you know, not to not say the environment, but just sort of the way life is out here. It's a lot calmer, it's a lot more peaceful, and it's a lot more fun than sitting around in a bloody city block. But I reckon we need to do two things before we finish this video. First one is Australian.
Oi, oi, oi.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. You know, I can't believe they tried to ban that. Well, they did ban that, didn't they?
What hell they did?
No, the Olympic
They
Games.
tried.
No, they did ban it at the Olympic Games. We weren't allowed to do it. You know, what could be more Australian? Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi.
Oi.
Bloody oath.
Aussie, oi, Aussie, oi, Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi.
Bloody oath. That is what it's all about. Loud, obnoxious.
And proud.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not as much of that as there should be, Jeff.
Yeah.
That's why I reckon people should get into the civics. They should actually go out there, start helping each other out, getting involved, and seeing how many really wonderful people are in our country.
Yeah, there's a lot. Only trouble is, one of the problems with this country is there's a drug culture.
Yeah, but only in the really big cities that's the problem.
Not really.
Oh, look, okay, yeah.
It's stuffed up a lot of small communities.
Yeah, not as many as you think. Because in the smaller communities, you know, they don't generally have as big a problem because they don't have as many people. I mean, towns like, for example, Walloon and a place like that, you know, alcohol's always been a big issue out in those places.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing new. But, you know, as far as the hard drugs go, not as much. But the big cities, yeah, it's a big problem.
Yeah.
It's a big problem. And even in smaller cities like our own, it's a problem.
Yeah, but I agree with you. A lot more people should get involved in the volunteering side of one sort or another. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you help the community.
and you become invested in
Yes.
the community.
And once you do that, you get a bit of pride in yourself and in the community, and things work for the better.
Absolutely, I think that you know, go volunteer at a library or you know your local aquatic centre or whatever it is.
Or down at your local op shop,
Yeah.
your charities.
And
Whatever.
you get to actually see how things work. Like I was saying while you were out having a slash, I think that you know, all the city slickers, especially these you know these big shots who think they know everything about everything, should come out and live a couple of years out in the regional centres or just the regions, and actually see how the other half live.
Yeah, and also some of these activists should actually come out to some of the more remote settlements and actually see what goes on there.
Yeah. And realise that they're well-meaning, and most of them are very well-meaning people,
Yeah, they
But-
just don't have a clue what really happens.
and their ideas end up hurting the people that they're supposed to be helping half the time. And I don't think that's just an Australian problem. I think that's just in general.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of these, you know, upper middle class twits who are activists in America have ever been to an actual trailer park and spent any time, or in Harlem or anything like that? They would not even dare go anywhere near those places.
Oh, God, no.
You know, and how can you know what's actually going on if you don't know what's going on?
Yeah.
But going back to Australiana, let's start throwing out some sayings. And let's see, if people watch this who aren't Australian, if you are Australian, you may not have heard this, but see how many people respond and say, we know what you're talking about. You may start.
Okay, I had a blue with Bluey down at the Rubbity.
I'm going to hit the frog and toad.
Oh, Christ, I've got to get my Newland girt on and my strides and shoot through like a Bondi tram.
Yeah. Yeah, just watch out for that Joe Blake, mate.
Oh, and the Noah's Arks.
Oh, geez, especially the Noah's Arks. Yeah, the white ones. White ones are the most dangerous sort of species. Then you can always pass me the Harold Holt with the dead horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to have that dead horse and the Harold Holt.
Look, you can be off like your brother's socks or a bucket of prawns in the sun.
Yeah, just don't play with your mutton chop. By the way, mate, if you drink too many beers, you might end up talking to Huey on the Great White Telephone.
If that'll do in Technicolor yawn.
Yep, you chunder away if you want. Just don't chunder on me car, because otherwise I'll kill you. Just going to Macca's before the bottle, eh, mate?
Yeah, got to toot my own horn every now and then.
Yeah, your bonds and your stubbies and a stubby.
Don't forget to put the chesties on.
Yeah, and your Chinese work boots.
The Japanese safety boots.
Oh, they're the ones, mate.
Shit, yeah.
Yep. And if you're going to go for a swim, mate, you know, put on your pair of budgie smugglers.
Yeah, just make sure they're not too tight.
Tony Abbott.
Yeah, put them on too tight and they end up as bikini bottoms.
No, that's SpongeBob SquarePants.
Turn you from a rooster into a hen in one easy lesson.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel a bit on me ear. Said you had a blue with Bluey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Add a blue with Bluey. Not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all sorted out in the end, and we had only had a couple of ambers.
Yeah, a bit of liquid gold.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking oath.
Slid down smooth.
And whilst you were listening to a little bit of the Slim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, mate.
All the Williams.
She'll be right.
She'll be Jake.
Yeah, mate. She'll be right.
She'll be Jake. She'll be Apples. No probs.
Bloody oath. And I think the channel's called The Drunk Philosopher, so
Yeah.
we shall finish in the way that is appropriate by singing a song by a bloody bunch of Poms.
Not the Perth Puke.
Or the Melbourne Muddy. That'll have you going at both ends.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Emmanuel Kant was a real piss tank who was very rarely stable. Heidegger was a boozy beggar who could drink you under the table. David Hume could outshoot Schopenhauer and Hegel. And Liechtenstein was a beery swine who was just as sloshed as Schlegel. There's nothing Nietzsche couldn't teach about the raising of the rears. Socrates himself was permanently pissed. John Stuart Mill, of his own free will, after half a he was particularly ill.
Plato, they say, could stick it away. Half a pint of whiskey every day. Aristotle was a bugger for the bottle.
Hobbes was fond of his dram. And René Descartes was a drunken fart. I drink, therefore I am. Yes, Socrates himself is particularly missed.
Lovely little thing about it. Lovely little thing about a bugger when he's piss boing.
Yeah,
Here's
boys.
to ya.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. This is The Drunk Philosopher. Have a great Australia Day.
You have a bloody good time. Take care. Be safe.
Bugger off.